It was senior day domination for the Cowboy wrestlers as Troy Spratley got the Cowboys started in style on a senior day duel on Sunday against the Mizzou Tigers, and Oklahoma State just absolutely went to rolling from there and defeated Missouri 36-3. Yeah, it was complete and total domination. And the one loss Oklahoma State had was from the true freshman from Idaho who faced Hughes from Mizzou, who's really, really, really good. And so even that was a really scrappy, great match for Oklahoma State, no doubt about it. As far as talking about Coulter Burton, who gave nationally ranked Josh Edmonds, I think I said Hughes, Josh Edmonds of Missouri, a really scrappy match. So that was the only loss Oklahoma State had, and you really can't complain about that because Burton, he wrestled his butt off on that match too. So, hey, with that, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it, and let's talk some Cowboy wrestling. Troy Spratley, you're seeing right here, this is his match at 125. He entered the duel. The wrestler against him, Walker, you see, entered the duel ranked at number 131 at 125. Spratley, you saw just a minute ago, hit an outside single leg and then was able to complete that move, rode out the rest of the first period. You're seeing action here in the second period, of which he took that 3-0 lead. And then from there, he started in the down position, escaped. That's to get to the 5, and eventually scored a reverse instead of escape. So he had the 1 point in the bag, but instead of getting the 1 point, he got a 2-point reverse to get to that 5-0 lead that you saw in the second period. There's that outside single in the first period from Troy Spratley there. Both wrestlers had done a good job on top, so riding time wasn't a factor. Walker escaped in the third period that you saw a minute ago. You're getting ready to see it here in just a minute again. Then he got a stall point, and then Spratley scored with just 10 seconds left and ended up with a major decision. There's that low single leg there from Troy Spratley. You see it 6-1 right here. Getting ready to finish that move, getting ready to make it 9-1, and then you had another point for a stall added on to that to make it 10-1. So Troy Spratley had a really, really nice match for Oklahoma State on Sunday. Reese Whitcraft is who you're seeing here at 133. He got the right leg of Moore, and man, wow. He hit a single, that single you just saw. Look at that. Look at that action right there in the first period. Kept working it. Finally got his takedown, not a few seconds, but he had to keep working it for a while. You can see, got another takedown. Almost took Moore to his back. Almost took him to the back. Rode him the rest of the period and racked up 116 of riding time. Look at that action there. That duck under he hit, and he kept working it for another takedown to make it 6-0. Neither were good options for as far as all the options that Moore had. Moore had some options going into the third period in terms of did he want to try to ride Reese Whitcraft out, or did he want to cut him and try to take him down? Neither one of those were going to happen. So there was a lot of great activity in this Reese Whitcraft match, and Reese Whitcraft came out the victor in a very, very fun match. A lot of activity for him. And that took us to 141, where Coulter Burton wrestled very tough. Again, Josh Edmonds of Missouri, nationally ranked. Burton, a freshman, true freshman from Idaho. So a season, you can see Burton right there, man. He is doing everything they can. He did not, right there, see that shot? Trying to do everything he can from the offensive side of wrestling, but just give Edmond, Missouri, a ton of credit. And that double leg right there is just, or whatever you want to call that, that's just too much for a freshman, a true freshman to fend off. And Burton did not score any offensive points, but you can see he's trying, man. It's not because of a lack of scrap. It's not because of a lack of activity. He gave a really, really nice account of himself. So this was great experience for Coulter Burton, true freshman from Idaho, who did a really good job against Josh Edmonds of Mizzou, again, who was a nationally ranked wrestler. And then Carter Young stepped on the mat at 149. Look, trying to suck that left leg in right there. He got that single in on Geoffrey of Mizzou. This is at 149. You can see on your screen there. He just had to keep working this move. You can see, just stay patient, stay with it, keep working the move. Eventually got it completed to take a 3-point takedown, a 3-0 lead. Then got a second takedown. Another one of these deals, stay patient, get Geoffrey back on the mat, get behind it. So the trick is, how do you keep him on the mat and then at the same time get behind him to get your points? Eventually, Young was able to do that, take a 6-2 lead and 6-3 after an escape. And then Young went 121 of riding time to begin the second period. He cut Geoffrey. That's how it got to that 6-3 score. You got a minute. You saw a minute ago. Young then got a penalty point, which that was the only disappointing part of this, is that the penalty point that he got assessed is the only thing that kept him from a major decision. But this was a very good match for Carter Young, no doubt about it, over Geoffrey of Missouri at 157. You're seeing Caleb Fish right here. Wrestled a nationally ranked wrestler, 157, Conway of Missouri. And it showed because, hey, this was a great match. I mean, Caleb Fish really had to work at this. Neither wrestler scored in the first period on their feet. And then Conway escaped after starting the second period in the down position. So Conway took a 1-0 lead. And that's how it headed into the third. Fish finally escaped that you're seeing here in the third. Riding time didn't seem like it was going to be a factor. But then with less than a minute to go in a tie match, Fish nailed that step behind that you just saw and then rode out the match and actually got riding time and won 5-1. So a very competitive match, very good match, tough match from Caleb Fish, and that moved us to Cameron Amin, who had a really nice match as too. Got things started after intermission. Oklahoma State always is dominant after intermission, and it usually starts with Cameron Amin, 165, another nationally ranked wrestler, so it's not like Missouri's just terrible or anything. Steed at 165. Actually, Steed's very good, and from Collinsville, got to see him wrestle some while he was in high school. Neither wrestler scored on their feet in the first period, kind of like the Caleb Fish match, and then Amin started the second period in the down position, couldn't escape. So give Cree to Collinsville a lot of credit for that. Could not escape until riding time was over 1 minute. So Creed actually got over 1 minute of riding time, had that 1 point in his back pocket. Then what really got Steed was he got a stalling penalty. So that stalling penalty kind of neutralized that 1 point he's going to get for riding time. And so Amin took a 1-0 lead, which really it was 1-1 at that point, unless Amin could get that riding time below 1 minute. And then he got an escape with just 8 seconds left. So they're just kind of some bad, you can tell I like Steed from Collinsville. He's, of course, he's an Oklahoma boy, and you always root for Oklahoma boys. Of course, you want Oklahoma State to win, but you want the other side when it's a young man from Oklahoma to wrestle well too. And Steed did just kind of some bad breaks for him. He got the stall penalty and then gave up the points with 8 seconds to go in the second period and lost a very, very tough match. I should say that Cameron Amin won a very, very, very tough match. 2-1. How about that for a score at 2-1? You don't see that very often as aggressively as Oklahoma State wrestles. That took us to the video game. Look at that. Dean Hamady Jr. My, oh my, is he a video game. Took down Milan Mizzou three times in the first period. He took a 13-2 lead into the second period, and then he just kept cutting Milan like it's a video game, taking him down right here. Take him down, cut him, take him down, cut him. Eventually got the tech fall. So what an impressive performance from Dean Hamady Jr., who just absolutely has been wrestling like a video game all year long, all career long for that matter. Dustin Plott then at 184, number 3 ranked wrestler at the 184, and he was wrestling an unranked wrestler in Sinclair, and it did not take long for Dustin Plott to show just how talented and how much more talented he was than his opponent. He took down Sinclair very, very, very early in this. You can see the score's already 7-1 with about 20 seconds to go in the first period. Sinclair got a stall call, made it 4-1. Plott took him down again. Plott reversed Sinclair, so Plott was able to take him down. He was able to ride him. He was able to reverse him from the down position. Eventually, you see the 10-2 lead here. Got another takedown with 22 seconds to go in the second period. Got another takedown in the third period to move it to 16-4. Was looking for the tech fall, but give Sinclair credit. He kept fighting, and Sinclair actually, off of a good scramble at the end of the match, Sinclair actually got a takedown, which kept Plott from getting his tech fall score. But when it was said and done, Plott won 18-7. You can see him just continuing to cut there. So a really good match for him. And that took us into the match with Luke Serber at 197. Needed just 5 seconds right there. You just saw it. Luke Serber needed just 5 seconds to complete his first takedown. On a low single a few seconds later, 6-1. There it is. You just saw against Cassett. Cassett only scored because Serber cut him. So really there were no points scored by Cassett. The only points were intentionally given by Serber on intentional cuts. Serber hit a double leg with 35 seconds left in the first period. You just saw that. The score was 9-2, 9-3 again because he cut Cassett. Took down another takedown at the beginning of the third period. Really, really explosive single leg that you're going to see here in a minute. Then hit a couple more takedowns. And when it was all said and done, we might not actually get to that because there were so much action. All said and done, tech fall 22-6. Luke Serber absolutely dominated his opponent, and that took us to the finale, which has become, for a lot of people, the funnest part of the night. And boy, I'll tell you what, look at that shot right there by Stoner. Stoner's the 29th ranked heavyweight. But again, Wyatt Hendrickson, you're not supposed to be able just to step out of that. And I don't know how Stoner got out of this. Stoner actually got out of that, but it wasn't going to last long. You can see right there that Hendrickson actually got the points. This guy, Hendrickson, is a road grader. And right here, you're going to see him actually he's going to get his opponent to his back right here. And Stoner get the pin again. Last year coming from Air Force, he had the most amount of pins of anybody in college wrestling, and he's showing why. So right there. So, man, I'll tell you what an impressive performance by Wyatt Hendrickson to finish off a very, very, very impressive senior day for Oklahoma State wrestling. So hope you enjoyed it. Again, another fun weekend. Iowa is just around the corner. That will be super fun. So hope you enjoyed our wrestling show. I'm Casey Porter for OkState Daily. Go Pokes.